This is Blab. Thank you for stopping by, and without further ado, let's blab. Alright, we're about 4 months after the release of Prismatic Evolutions, so I think it is a good time to talk about how trash these artworks are. I mean, they're bad. They're really, really bad when you compare them to, older promo cards, when you compare them to anything involving skies, when you compare them to pretty much any other interpretation of these evolution cards are better than these. And we're going to go through them real quick just so I can show you what I'm thinking about when I see these cards, right? Generally, when I look at a card like this, I think of the readability of the card, the detail, and the storytelling, right? So the readability is not going to be, the actual reading of the attacks and whatnot. It's going to be, can you look at the card and can you interpret what's going on fairly quickly? This doesn't mean like there's cool details in the background that, you might not see at first. Can you see what's generally going on in the card? And clearly we can see that the readability of this card is bad, right? We got this clip art fire here that's the exact same color as Flareon. It's just not done well. We got a crown up here that's twice the size of the Pokemon itself. There's no storytelling going on. We got like a Lord of the Rings ring back here. I have no idea what's going on. And when you compare it to, I get it, these are both promo cards, but these are just way better. I can look at the card. I understand what's going on. It's in the living room, next to the fireplace, warming up. We've got pictures up here of Flareon. We got a ton of different detail. Looking at the fire here is just a way cooler way to interpret the fire relationship between Flareon than this clip art garbage, man. And then if we look at this one, this is more of like a storytelling one, right? We got multiple different Pokemon here. Got Slowpoke chilling in the back, bunch of different colors. It's just a well-done card, right? This is not a well-done card. We'll move next we'll go in order. We'll go Vaporeon next. I don't mean to keep grinding these cards up, but like this is the worst of the 8, okay? We'll go into readability first. What is going on here? There's like a puddle down here, and then there's like a stained glass window in the back with some like bubbles coming up. I don't know. I mean, the background stained glass structure is pretty much the exact same pattern as the Pokemon itself. Incredibly hard to read and interpret. The detail isn't good just because there's a bunch of random lines with different colors in it doesn't make it good detail. And that's probably because there's no storytelling going on here, right? Like, I don't know where this is supposed to be. I don't know. It's not good. We look at a card like this, $9. I can read it. I know what's going on. The detail's pretty good. It's not great. It's a cheaper card, right? It's a trainer gallery. But, there's like some forest going on back here. There's the lily pads, the leaves, things like that. I really like that, like, you can see this like branch underneath the water. The water's different colors. It's a well-done card, right? But let's go into the promo cards, a little bit more expensive. The detail, it's phenomenal. First, you read it, you see that there's a big Vaporeon, outlined in that magenta, super cool. We got a shoreline in the back. Really, this water line here is done super well. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got, 10, 12, 15 different Pokemon. If you include all these guys over here, there's 30 different Pokemon in this, right? But it's still just incredibly well done and well executed. I mean, I just noticed this guy back here. So it's like you can do a lot in one card as long as it's well executed. This is not well executed. I'm sorry. Then this one, same thing. A little bit less detail. Came in the same box as this one, but it makes sense. You're in a puddle. You're in sort of this embankment or shoreline or whatever. I like the detail of the the light source bouncing off the water. It's it's well done. So that's our Vaporeon. All right, Glaceon. This one's a little better, I guess. Yeah, you can read it a little better because this random line work is, kind of fades as you get towards the center. But again, like there's no story being told here. There's really minimal detail going on here. It's sort of hard to read. Like it's just not a well executed card. Now this Evolving Skies, I get $300-$400 card, but there's so much more going on, right? There's the Pikachu, there's the Feebas, there's Eevee running around. There's this nice contrast in colors going on between the front and back. I love this little bridge in the back. It's just a really well executed card. Then you look at this, same, maybe a little less detailed than this. We only have our one Pokemon here, but the back looks great with the these schoolhouses or homes or shops or whatnot. It's just really cool. This, I mean, some claim that there's like really no detail on this at all, but I think the storytelling's phenomenal. It looks like sort of like a wildlife photographer is, in the brush or, on the tree line and has discovered this Glaceon in the wild and snapped a picture of it. That's what I see when I come to this card, and that's what I think about, right? What do I think about when I look at this card? I don't think of anything. Like, this is just blah. I don't know. Next, we'll go Jolteon. Jolteon is my favorite evolution. This is not my favorite card. This is a bad card. Again, what are we reading here? I mean, like, it's all the same color pretty much. It's all like the same color palette. It doesn't look good. You got like a weird graph, design down here, and then dot design down here. It's like, where is this taking place? What is the story being told? It's sort of the same as those other 4 cards, right? I picked this card out because this is the exact same card, just with a trainer, right? Like, it's the same card, but this is $6, and this one's $300. People are paying well over $300 for this card. I don't get it. Then we got, our promo cards. These are 2 of the best promos that have ever come out. They came out in the same box. This really makes me think of this Mewtwo card, jumping over the cityscape kind of thing. I think it would be cool to have sort of in a binder, on the same page, or maybe like, a page of these guys and a page of these guys back to back. That could look really cool. But, just well done cards, cool detail, cool story. And then this one is great too. My favorite detail in this, obviously, you have the little homes, and you have, Jolteon creating the lightning and whatnot. I love that in the background, the sky itself is, like this weird tie-dye, different colors. I think that's really cool. So we will move forward. I promise it does get a little better. This Espeon is probably the best of the 5 that we have seen so far. I think it's really cool that they interpreted the design to make it all one color. Nah, obviously not. This is all purple and blue. They, I guess, got bored of drawing these flowers, so they didn't draw them in the back. Didn't feel like drawing them in the front, so they put these crystals or whatever. It's okay. I mean, it's easier to read, right, because you have the contrast from the pink to the purple. So, I mean, like, there's some pros there, but, I mean, a $300 to $400 card when, you have a card like this that's in the same price range. I mean, it's not close to me, right? Like, this is like the 1B to Moonbreon. Moonbreon's in that kind of gothic setting, holding on to the that dark, gothic castle, where Espeon's here, grasping onto, what seems sort of like, I don't know, like a European sort of home. You also got this one. If we're talking about storytelling, Espeon's telling his stories, levitating these books. You got cool detail everywhere. Same thing, another promo, but you can't really go wrong with the tag team, just cratering it. It's just a really cool card. This is like, okay, I don't know. My favorite card in the set, well, not in the set, but out of the evolutions. And I mean, none of the evolutions are close to the Roaring Moon, but that's a different video. This is pretty good, and it's for one reason. The thick outline of most of this card makes it so that it's easier to read, and Intel makes it a better card, right? So you have all of these things going on, but you're actually able to interpret it, right? You have the flowers in the front. You have him climbing the tree. It's just, it's more well done than some of these other cards. The nature around it is just way more interesting than some of the, like, you take the Jolteon card, right? It's like there's no nature. It's just kind of blah, right? So that's pretty cool. Similar idea of, being in a tree, being in nature, just, kind of different art style. These are more the ones I like. I like, big scene going on, big Pokemon, and then, these little things that you can find throughout the card when you go back to it. Again, another fantastic card. A ton of detail, but still very readable, right? Alrighty, so let's move on to Sylveon. This card sucks. I'm sorry. This card is bad. It's cotton candy vomit, okay? Like, explain this card to someone. Oh, yeah, you got Sylveon sitting there looking mad confused with, a couple bows and flowers, and there's, a quilt in the back, and it's all pink and purple. It's, okay. I don't know. Tell me why this card isn't way better. It's the exact same silhouette, except the background is 1, 2, 3 different Eevees. You got a Kangaskhan in the back. You got Vaporeon. You're clearly at some sort of park or something. There's just so much more going on. You're still very readable, but just a ton more detail. Different Pokemon, different environments. You got a card like this. You're a different environment. You're in a bake shop. The storytelling is going on there. Here, a little less storytelling, but you got the trainer, and it's a different art design. Same thing here. Generally, we're looking at SIRs, IRs, alt arts, things like that. But even this full art, it's almost a tag team looking card, because it's telling a story between these 2 Pokemon, right? Then we actually got the tag teams with the Gardevoir. Both of these highly sought after, great cards. And then lastly, we have another trainer. But when you look at a card like this, compared to a card like this. What is the creative difference like, I just, creatively, they're the same. It's like, get a big Sylveon in the middle of the card, get some flowers, get some shiny, whatever. Like, I don't know. And this is a $16 card versus a $600 card. It's not close for me. I mean, like, maybe I'd take this card over this card, all things being equal, but I'm sorry, this is just not a good card. Umbreon. Umbreon. Okay, so this is an okay card. Like, again, like, it's not telling any sort of story. Just because there's, like, a bunch of intricate lines and colors doesn't mean, like, the detail is good. It's kind of readable. Like, the upper half of Umbreon is contrasting with the sun or the moon or whatever. But I don't know. This card really reminds me of when you're, like, in elementary school and they give you, like, that really fast spinning thing, and you put you grab a couple of different color markers, and then it spins really fast, and when it's done spinning, you take your piece of paper off and you have this, like, symmetrical, cool looking design. That is what this card looks like. There's no environment, there's no real good detail, storytelling. This is different. This has an environment. It has some storytelling. I'd be the first to say that this artwork is not worth $1,600. I get and I understand what was going on during the time that this card was released. I understand that it was $200, and then it was $400, then it was $700. It slowly climbed its way up and became the chase card of the era. This was an era-defining card. This is not an era-defining card. This is an era-defining card. And that's not just because of the artwork. I understand that. But for these to be even close in price is mind-boggling. If you want an era-defining card from Sword and Shield or from Scarlet and Violet, go grab the Bubble Mew, bro. Like, yeah, not a ton of detail, but you got a handful of different Pokemon there, and it's got that nickname, right? The Moonbreon has a nickname, the Bubble Mew has a nickname, and that's just, years from now, people are going to be like, what was that era-defining card? Right now, it's the Bubble Mew, and the Bubble Mew is, 1/4 of the cost of this? It's not close. This is probably the best Umbreon card. Incredible storytelling, incredible detail, all of those things. Tag team, even though some tag teams don't have a ton of detail, they do have in this one that futuristic cityscape with Pika, peeking out back there. Again, like, you just have a great background of this, like, industrialized sort of thing. Even here, like, are you in a park or you at, like, a bus stop, something like that. There's just so much going on with every single one of these cards. What is going on here? And this thing is being hyper shilled to $2,000. I mean, it's a bad card, guys. It's not a good card. It's vomit. Anyway, that's the Blab for today. See ya.